Good morning, ladies and gents. My name is Colin Dunnigan, and the topic of my speech today is what makes me happy. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Mahatma Gandhi said that. I am a simple man with simple taste. I am also a redhead, a lover of fine foods, and a wannabe outdoorsman. As a simple man, the littlest things mean the world to me. For example, I find sheer happiness when I enter the woods. I think about asking my dad to airlift me into the woods in the middle of nowhere with only the essentials on my back, and somehow I feel like I could find my way out. But then I think that he would be a little skeptical about that. Anyways, I find peace and happiness in the woods. I spend most of my time or days, perhaps, in the Lynn Woods with my dog trail running. We take in everything on the walk. She makes me happy when I see her little tail wagging, her nose hit the ground when she picks up something big, usually a deer, and the feeling of relief when I realize that she didn't run away from me. I also find great happiness on the lake. My parents have a house on Ospey Lake, just south of North Conway, New Hampshire. The house is my retreat from reality. Here I can wake up and cast a line into the lake, and my cast will be the first thing to hit the water that day. What also makes me happy is spending time with family and friends. Moments we share during summer vacations, weekends, and just ordinary days is what I live for. When I look back on those moments, it makes me happy. It makes me sad, actually, that they are gone and they're in the past, but happy because I know for certain that more new and exciting things are yet to come. What makes me happy is when someone says that I can't do something because it inspires me. Before I was born, I was in a position where I could go only two ways. One way being a paraplegic, sucking air through a tube in my nose, and the other was being the person that I am standing here today. The doctors thought that I would not be able to stay in and that I would come out too early. I love challenges, and my first challenge I accepted and I won. I'm a fighter. I have been since birth. That's why there is no limit to what I can achieve. That's what makes me happy, knowing that there is nothing that can stand in the way of my dreams. And lastly, to pull myself out of the deep stuff, I want to say that my youth group makes me extremely happy. We are a tight, solid group of kids and adults. Meg, Kate, Allie, Shay, Coleman, Ethan, Meredith, Josh, Matt, and Nate have been my best friends, and I am grateful for that. That is what makes me happy. Thank you, Auf Wiedersehen, and Namaste.
My name is Nathan Young, and I will be doing another reflection on what makes me happy. Candles in the window. Now that may seem like a completely random phrase, but I assure you, it is not. When I think of that phrase, I smile. Not just because of the memories it brings up in me, but also because of all the things it makes me think of. So, anyway, here's the story of that phrase and why I'm standing in front of you today. One day, I was driving somewhere in a car, and I noticed a house with candles burning in every window. Now, these candles might have had some personal or religious significance to the person who put them up, but for me, they were just something someone does to brighten the day of others. And this action, these candles in the window, it makes me think of all the times I have seen some random stranger help someone out just because they wanted to do something nice for someone else. And it makes me happy because I want to believe that the entire human race is innately good, despite what you see every day in the news. And every time I see someone help someone else out, even if it's just holding the door open for them, or helping someone get directions to somewhere they're going, every little thing that we do as human beings to help others, it makes me happy. Every time I see someone help Every flower laid at a grave, honoring the memory of the dead. Every person who finds something, and instead of just keeping it, goes to great lengths to return it, expecting no reward. Every person who says, you can keep the change. Everyone who gives to those in need. Everyone who participates in the food drive. Everyone who believes, just as I do, that we can make a difference. All of these things make me happy. All of these things make me smile. And isn't that why we are here today? To smile and be happy. Thank you.
Exciting. We thought that was very special. A good enough excuse, we would say. The Senior High Youth Group is a very special collection of young adults. It is unique in that it's constantly evolving and changing. Every youth that transitions out leaves a special mark on the group. And with each youth that enters, we see freshness of personality and character. As a youth director, it is truly an honor to watch these youth grow and mature as they take their individual journeys through high school. We have only one youth bridging this year, Colin Dunnigan. Come on down. I think Coleman always possessed a very natural and heightened sense of maturity. As a freshman, he effortlessly engaged with his peers and instantly bonded with the group. Colin also has a fantastic sense of humor, and over the past 4 years has literally had me in stitches on several occasions. He's a pretty great kid. Colin, you will truly be missed. Sorry. We wish you nothing but success and happiness as you take this next journey in life.
Coleman, I have a rose for you. Now, this rose is beautiful, and it signifies all of the beautiful things that are going to happen to you in this life. But you notice that there are also some thorns, so be careful. And those thorns are all of those challenging things that are going to happen to you as you make your way in this world. And we hope that what you learn here in our church school will help you deal with life in an honest way, filled with integrity and grace.
Coleman, ever since I arrived at this church, I've heard your name spoken with such glowing affection from everyone here. I've just, you've been a wonderful friend to all ages here, and there are a lot of adults and elders of this congregation who have taken tremendous pride. You are really a baby of this church, and now a young man of this church going forth to a great future. And you will always have a home in this church. I have a reading for you called Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. It was written in 1927, but some people think it was written by by a monk in the medieval ages, but that's actually not true. But this was a really favorite reading in like the hippie era, so your parents and the boomers here probably remember and love this reading. I love it too, and Karen loves it, and it's just a great blessing for someone going forth into a new phase of their life, which you are and others here are. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant, for they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth, but you got a long way to go before that happens. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive God to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. And go with our love. That mic is for you, my dear. And that mic is for you.
Just absolutely, just put it right in there, Coleman. And do you know what school you're going to?
I'm going to the University of Pittsburgh. I'm very excited. I'll be leaving in August.
And so I also have for you an envelope. It comes from the Unitarian Universalist Association Youth Office. And if you fill that out, they can connect you to a congregation, a youth, young adult group. And I hope you fill that out, and I'll give that to you after the service. So you can now do your reflection.
For my reflections day, I was prompted with two questions. What have you learned from this UU community? And what will you bring with you in your future endeavors? I have learned many values as a member of this congregation. I have learned how to explain UUism to other people, although I have not mastered that yet. But I have also learned the values of patience and compassion, which I use together in every day of my life, but also when I volunteer at the Museum of Science in Boston. I was inspired to volunteer by my many mentors, friends, and role models in this congregation. I would name them all, but there are simply too many to list. But I believe you know who you are. It truly takes a village to raise a child. What I plan to bring with me from my time at this church is the many fond memories I share with this congregation. In each of them, I felt that I was an essential part of the community. I remember my time with the Frozen Pickles and also with the senior youth group. I remember spending time at Ferry Beach building puzzles on a rainy weekend. I remember my foray into music with the choir and with a musical play. And I remember going to General Assembly in Phoenix. A particularly moving moment from General Assembly was the candlelight vigil at Tent City. There, I felt an enormous sense of community, which I have not felt since. I felt a bond to the several thousand GA attendees which were there with me, even though I did not know the vast majority of them. We were all bound by our common principles, and these are the same principles that I plan to live by in the future, wherever it may take me. Thank you.